Very pleased to have with us on the program tonight for the ILA Report, Rachel Parsons, NRA-ILA Media Liaison. Rachel, good evening.
Good evening.
Thanks very much for coming on the program tonight. A lot of stuff to talk about all around the country. Let's get started. In Arizona, I think this is great news. Not only are gun sales up in Arizona, but more people are hitting the range. This comes in the wake of constitutional carry being passed earlier this year. You had restaurant carry passed last year in Arizona. A lot of good pro-gun bills passing in the state, and a lot of people are turning into responsible gun owners as a result.
That's right. It's so exciting to see a state that is encouraging people to exercise their Second Amendment freedoms. And it just goes to show you that you can't legislate responsibility, but what you can do is encourage people to be very responsible gun owners, and that's what the laxing of Arizona gun laws have done. Now these people are going out on their own accord, getting training and learning how to use their firearms, and they're going to take responsibility for their own personal safety. And that's great. And I think that you'll see a great benefit in Arizona because of that.
I think you will too. Unlike Portland, Oregon, where the mayor there, Sam Adams, wants to make it more difficult for people to become gun owners. That's not going to help anybody, but that's exactly what the mayor's trying to do.
You're right. That's exactly what he's trying to do. And in fact, he calls himself a founding member of Mayors Against Illegal Guns. And I know that everyone watching has probably had just about enough of that organization. But here we have someone who is a proponent of that organization again. And they're out there have creating new gun ordinances that are likely illegal because of Oregon's preemption laws, but nonetheless pushing forward more anti-gun legislation and using an emotional, pulling at people's heartstrings, using an emotional ploy to encourage them to support this. And what his emotional thing is reducing gang violence. But somehow they're going to do backdoor attempts and for trigger locks and mandatory storage requirements, saying that we need to keep our children safer by requiring people to store their firearms in a certain way and have mandatory gun locks. That's ridiculous. It's been proven that that does absolutely nothing to reduce crime or accidents. What does is having, responsible gun ownership, and you can't legislate responsibility.
Absolutely. We can try putting those gang members in jail, too, when they, commit crimes. That might be somewhat effective in reducing gang violence.
They tell us all the time that getting guns off the streets and out of the hands of law-abiding people is somehow going to reduce crime. But that's just not the case. In fact, what we really need to do is start enforcing those 20,000 gun laws that we already have on the books and leave law-abiding people alone. If a criminal is committing violent crime, put them in jail so they can't do it again. But if law-abiding people are minding their own business, let's leave them alone.
Absolutely. And to that end, the NRA working in Illinois to have law-abiding gun owners in Cook County left alone on Election Day. There was an anti-gun referendum. This called for a statewide ban on semi-automatic firearms in general. But NRA-supported challenge succeeded, and this referendum is off the table?
That's right. There's a referendum on the November ballot asking if the sale of semi-automatic firearms should be banned in Illinois. They needed signatures from more than 83,000 people. Didn't get that, didn't even get close. So it's over. We don't have to worry about that anymore. But, it seems like we're always fighting the fight in Illinois, constantly trying to make sure that gun owners are protected in that state. And we'll continue to do that.
All right. Well, Rachel, as always, appreciate you coming on the program, and I look forward to doing this again very soon.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Rachel Parsons, NRA-ILA Media Liaison, joining us here for the ILA Report.